Hi everyone, it's Carlton Pendles channel. Welcome back to another video on my channel. In today's video, I'll be previewing our round 21 clash against the Carlton Blues. Now, if you are a Team Carlton Magpies, welcome, like, comment, share. If you're new to the channel, watching this for the first time, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Now, one thing that we do know is it's a massive game. Real massive game. It's got implications for finals, it's got implications for everything. And it's Scott Pendles' 400th game. Now, he used to go to Collingwood. He has been a real great player for Collingwood for so many years as well. So, I want to go through his stats. And in his first game against the Brisbane Lions, which was round 10, we won by 26 points. And that was when Blake Halasallo injured his neck as well. A career-ending neck injury. Also the fact as well that Pendlebury's first goal came from Nathan Buckley's beautiful kicking board inside 50, and that's what resulted in the goal as well. In his 50th game was round 19, 2008, and that's when we played the Saints. Now, we ended up winning by 14 points. I think our biggest lead was, 26 points, I would say. It's been a long time. That was his 50th game. And, he looked a star. Like, he looks like the player that we all know and love. And 2010 was the prelim final. That's when he played his 100th game. That's 3 wins already. We won by 41 points. We were 62 points in front. Absolutely killed him. We absolutely did kill him in the end. That was his 100th game in the prelim final, believe it or not. The 150th come up against Carlton in round 2 in 2013. So, Scott Pendles' 150th game came in round 2 against Carlton, where we won by 17 points. Also, the fact is that we obviously celebrated wins as well on that, and that was probably his best game in the 150th game as well. He looked really good. I think from memory, he had 14 kicks, 9 handballs as well. So he had 23 disposals. So he looked good in that particular game, and that was his 150th. He was 25 years old as well. So, he really got going in his career. He really got going in his career. And then his 200th game, 2015 against the Gold Coast Suns, that was at Crow, but that was at Metricon Stadium. Now it's known as People's First Stadium. And we won by a whopping 69 points. So it was always great to see what we were able to do. We dominated throughout the whole game. And we got the job done in his 150th game. In his 200 game, I should say. So it was a real honour for him to play 200 games in that. And pretty sure in that particular year, he was 27. So he's definitely not as young as what we would have liked. In 2017, in round 15 against the Hawks, not the first time we played him, the second time we played him, we lost by 24 points. And that was in his 250th game. And that is that's only one loss in between that. So that's a very good record into it as well. And then his 300 game against Cats was in the qualifying final in 2019. I was there for that game. We won by 10 points. And that was the jumper clash with the Shorts as well. Not going to lie, you could not barely tell who it was when they were out further. When they were close, you could tell a little bit. When they were out further, it was so hard to tell. It looked shocking as a jumper clash. And as we know, Collingwood do wear black shorts and Geelong wear white shorts as well. And that was his 300th game. And that's when, we had a win in the qualifying final. And then 2022, round 18 at the Adelaide Oval, when we beat the Crows by 5 points. And this was the game where it was his 350th game, I think, from memory. He played reasonably well. in his 150th game. So 350th game, I should say, and he absolutely played sensational well. I think Nick Dacus had like 40 disposals in that particular game. So like I wouldn't be surprised that was the case. But as we know, that's his 350th game, and he knew exactly what he was going to do at that rate. And he was only 34 years of age, so yeah, it's pretty good. And then obviously the 400th game against the Blues as well. So it'll be it will be the second milestone that he has ever faced against the Blues as well. So this is a massive occasion. I urge every Collingwood supporter to be there. I urge all Collingwood supporters after the game to cheer him off, because he's one of the GOATs of our club. He's one of our legends, and he's one of the... I call him as a senior GOAT because, he is. Like, he's professional and all that. Became into that. So you knew exactly what you're going to get with Scott Pendles as a player. So, unbelievable. Out of his 400 games, that would be his 8th milestone we've had. In his 8 milestones he's had, with 7 wins and 1 loss. So that's pretty damn impressive now. With Carlton, this is war between us. It's a massive rivalry. It is war. It is war. It is massive. It's... two teams hate each other with a passion. This is the sort of games where we played really well against, and we always have a very good record against the Blues as well, considering that we've won one of the last 5 games. Well, they've only won 2 of the last 5, but if you really want to count, out of the 4 games, it's 1 win, 3 losses as well. So I think with this sort of game, I reckon we'll come up against it and really look to show how we're going as well. I will go into the way that Carlton tend to play now. I think we all know that this is probably a massive game for them. This is massive because the points for and the points against. Now, while we can see, we score 86.3 points per game, while we scored 86.3 points per game, Carlton are averaging 97.8 points per game. Well, our points against is 86.2 compared to 86.6. So it's roughly about the even-ish sort of type thing. Now, our average age is 25, our average 24, 90 to 74 games. Heights were 1 centimetre difference. Can't talk about the weight because they decided to make it 0. But having said that too, the disposals, they're averaging 356 disposals to 342, 216 kicks to 202 kicks. Handballs, 140 apiece. Inside 50s, 50 to 52. Our disposal efficiency is 70% to 72. But our efficiency inside 50 is a lot better per game. 52% from 28 shots from 50 inside 50s. Compared to 50%, 26 shots from 52 inside 50s as well. Average free kick counts 19 apiece. The average hitouts per game is 41 to 34, and that's what I think we can get them. Clearances 40 to 38. Centre clearances 14 to 13. 26-25 stoppage clearances. Contested possessions 140 to 132. 200 to 209 uncontested possessions. Turnovers is 65 apiece. Intercepts 67 apiece. So that's where it becomes interesting. Our best 22 is 4,510. Our predicted 22 is 4,620. Their best 22 is 4,818 and predicted 22, 4,774 as well. They're listed 10th on the second on the AFL ranking. We're 10th. Average marks, they're averaging 89 marks per game to 80. Marks inside 50, 12 to 11. And contested marks in their favour as well, 11 to 9. Tackles is the same, even 12 to 11 tackles in the 450, and that's the average. 4 bounces apiece, and 1% is 46 to 42 as well. So that is the difference on top of it. Now, the way that we can beat Carlton is during the stoppage work, and then obviously get the ball on the outside and start using the speed as well. And there are a few players that we need to really target. I definitely would target a lot more. I would target Pitnett with Cox and Cameron. Even if you crunch into him at the bounce and you make him aware that, hey, we're going to be physical, we're going to come out and we're going to test you out early, and definitely work him over. Mackay's going to come into the ruck contest as well. I believe that he is in. So you do that in particular. I would target Kerner. I would definitely try and stop Charlie Kerner from absolutely dominating a game of football. That he's so dangerous when it comes to it. And I will target Jacob Wiedering and also Adam Saad. What I would do with Jacob Wiedering is make him accountable. Instead of bombing the ball a lot more, I know that probably Kruger will come back in, and I'll talk about the changes in a minute. But if you lower your eyes when you go forward and you give Jacob Wiedering a bit of a block for your teammates, if you give a bit of a block to your teammates, you can absolutely try and take marks inside 50 and look to score that way. And I would target Adam Saad. Now, what I would do with Saad is I get into him physically. I would physically go up and knee him right in the sweet spot to go up and take marks. And I would tackle him to the ground because he doesn't like to defend. And while that is probably, he's a dangerous running carry player, he's the type of player at the moment that you need to really stop. And if I were Fly, I'd tag him out the game. I would tag Kerner. I would target, Pitner in the middle because he gives them that first hit. Once you win the clearances, they just don't defend. And I would slow the game down for Carlton because we know they like to bomb a lot. They don't like to lower their eyes. So if we can force them to kick long down the line as well, that's going to give us a huge chance to really win the game of football as well. But I'm really looking forward to watching what we're doing with this particular game as well. Now, the changes for this week, which is importantly, I wouldn't drop an Ed Long, to be honest. If Mitchell's available, I think he'll play. I believe DeGoey has trained well in match play, so he might get up. So if DeGoey is fit, you definitely get him in. And you could probably replace him with Ned Long, to be fair. You think Harvey Harrison might come out for Brian McCreary? Do you think that might be the way that you go about it? So that's number 2. And I think number 3, I think you might need to play Billy Frampton. And the player that comes out for him potentially wouldn't be Howe or anyone else, but it could be maybe it either has to be either Lockie Schultz or it has to be potentially a Bartel, if that. I don't think you can drop Parker with his form. I think Bartel needs to stay. I would definitely play and Sullivan's one. So I think Frampton for Sullivan is the change that I would make. And you can potentially have as a sub, maybe a Harvey Harrison might be sub in the game. So that could be probably the changes, and you can have Mackay on Darcy Moore and Frampton on Charlie Kerner, and you can negotiate that as much as you can. So they're the only few changes that I would make. I would stick Howe as the key defender to get back and insert. When Harry Mackay comes up, you can have Darcy Moore play loose as well, and support Billy Frampton in that role if that's what we're going to do with the changes. So I definitely do think that we can do it. But it's like I said, we need to make sure that we can play our brand of football and really look forward to attack as much as we possibly can. So that's why I'm tend to thinking now that we go for someone like a Billy Frampton in that particular case as well. Now, the way, to me, my top 5 for this week is game plan and tactics. I think with our game plan, we need to start hitting the score. The only way with our game plan that we attack Carlton is in the centre clearances. We play our manic ball pressure, we lower our eyes when we go forward. We have Bobby Hill, you have Lockie Schultz. And then, obviously, if Kruger does come in, you can have the 3 talls, and you think Board might come in for them. And that way, what you can do is that you can make McGovern accountable, you can make Jacob Wiedering accountable, and you can also have Cox and Cameron working as the first and second ruck choice, and they can go back and help out the defence as well. And therefore you can get the runners like a Quainer, like a Noble, Sidebottom as well, to really play that brand of football as well. Tactically, I would tag Sard. I would make it a lot difficult. Don't make him get off the train and let him have his free run in space. Everything that he gets has to be a pressure contested ball, and really look to tackle him over the boundary line. So I would tackle Sard over the boundary line and make it everything contested. I would target Kerno. Now we know the we know he likes to initiate holds on his opponents. So one thing that we need to do is not fall for that. It's going to be difficult to do that. But I think to try to avoid him holding on to him is I would try and double team him as much as you possibly can. Have Billy Frampton onto him. Have Howe as the interceptor just to watch him a little bit, and therefore you can take marks in front of him once they start bombing. Do not allow Carlton to play a faster brand of football. Make everything slow, and you should get the job done that way. And clearly this is a massive game for us. And I would really look to attack him with full speed and get back and defend and don't panic. Because the more you panic, more you're going to give away free kicks. So don't give Charlie Kerner any initiation to draw a free kick. Play it smart. Push him from the side. Block his run. Most importantly, block his run. But still have the intention for going for the ball. So therefore you don't get penalised out of that situation. And you should be fine as well. Number 2, I think this is the most key to our game, is playing well for long enough and playing well for consistently. Now, we know that 4 quarters is the best way we go about it. Obviously, the start that we had were 40 points in front of Richmond until they reduced the margin to 26 points. But we know that they're going to try and get their game going, yeah? We know that they're going to try and get momentum. How we stop that, and what I mean by playing well for long enough, is that don't let them get 3 or 4 goals on the counter-attack. Have them as 1 or 2 goals, and that way you can stop them early and then get on the roll yourself. And once we tend to lower our eyes when we go forward, not bomb as much, and have that bit of a block. Once we get that bit of a block and we so yeah, I would target Sard, I would target Kerno and also Jacob Wiener, make them accountable. Don't let them play off their man a lot. I would try and restrict them as much as you possibly can. And also, as well, for number 3, is clearly our forward line. Now, our forward line needs to lift, need to start playing great football. And also the fact is that it's time to keep the ball in our forward half, get repeat stoppages, and keep the ball inside our 450 and really look forward to attack as well. So I think once we can attack in the forward line, I think, keep the ball in there. And obviously really making sure that we put the pressure on them. I feel like we can get the job done as well. And that is our forward line. Number 4 is our back line. Again, I think that is our back line is number 4 now. What I will say with that is that we need to help out our defence, and defensively we need to make everything real tight, make it hard for Carlton to score, but also the fact is that this is a chance that we can get back at them and really look to attack as well, and we can keep going with our brand of football as well, and really look to get our intercept game going, in which I know that we can do it. And number 5 is our midfield. Now, I think for that midfield we need to start dominating, win the footy out of the middle, and really look forward to winning clearances, but also the fact is that putting that pressure on and just making sure that Carlton don't get any easy balls as well. So I think that's something that should be looked at as well. Now, the last time we met was obviously round 8, 2024, where we won by a kick. Nick Dacos kicked the winner of that game, and it looked really good, didn't it? First quarter was all Carlton, when we were 2 goals down. We were in front when we kicked 5-2 in the second quarter, and then we only kicked 4 behinds in the third quarter. That's when they got on top of us. And in the last quarter, we kicked 4-5 to win the game as well. And that was probably Nick Dacos' best game on top of it. It never looked likely that we would probably lose that game in particular. And then, obviously, when we look back, round 20 in 2023, when they beat us by 7 points, as well. And that was the game where, it was pretty much even first quarter. Second quarter, they got on top, and then we didn't look likely except for the last quarter when we kicked 5-5 and really kept in it. And then you had the 28-point win back in round 10, and this is when we got off to a really good start. We played really well in that particular game as well. 10-5 to 4-6 at half time. They only kick one goal for, we kick one goal one, and in the last quarter, 2 goals won compared to 2 goals 5 as well. So we looked good then and absolutely got the job done. On top of it, March kicked 4 as well, which was great. And then obviously, because of our form as well, we have beaten them round 23, 2022. We won by a point. Now, we kicked inaccurate in that first half, where we could have really dominated, 11 scoring shots to 7. So realistically, that we could have won that a lot more. I think from memory as well, we had one rush behind, one touch. But we could have really dominated and won by a lot more than that. So I thought that was a really good performance from us. And obviously, round 11, 2022, when we won by 4 points as well, on top of it. So that's going to be interesting indeed. Carlton, I know I've bang on about this a lot more. They don't wear a clash kit against us. That is a known fact that does happen. To be fair, they don't like to wear a clash for jumper for reasons, even though the two teams do clash, because it's a darker currency as well. One thing I will say on that, people said that we don't wear a clash. We do. We wore one this year. We wore one 2022. 2023 was Indigenous round, so probably didn't matter too much in that. 2022 we did, 2021, 2020, 2019, 2018 we certainly did, and they haven't. Round 2 we won by 21 points as well, and that was when we got off to a really good start as well, and we scored 100 points. And then obviously 2020 we won by 24 points in the end, so that was a great win. And then we won by 19 points in round 8 in 2019. We won by 20 points in round 14, 2018. And then we won by 24 points in round 3, 2018 as well. So, like I said, it's huge. Absolute massive game. I want to give a shout out to Scott Pendlebury, who's played 400 games, mate. Congratulations. Bloody love ya, you're GOAT. I grew up watching you and Buckley during that time. And I just want to say thank you for reaching 400 games as the 6th player to do it. First ever Magpie to ever do it in our history. And yeah, I'll definitely do with that as well. So tips, I will say we'll win by 26 points. I will say that knowing with the stats that we've got, we always tend to play well against Carlton and tend to do well as well. Hope you guys liked the video. Please don't forget to drop a like and also drop a sub. Bye for now, and I love each and every one of you.